So this is what I'm looking for on your advising appointment form. I want it to look very similar to this, not look similar to it per se, but have these fields and operate the way I'm going to show you. So you have a form of some type, and your form is going to have contact information, reservation request, classes you want to take, and additional information. So I'm looking for these fields. I've given you videos that you should be able to follow along that show you how to do these nice boxes around your individual, your different groupings of data. I've given you a video that shows you how to put in these text boxes and how to click on the submit button. I'm tasking you to do the following, to go out and research W3 schools. There's lots of information there, or whatever other means you feel comfortable with. And I want you to have a drop-down box. In this drop-down box, I have 3 teachers' names that you can make an appointment with. There is a drop-down box that has all the months of the year, so I'm looking for that. This particular box is number formatted, so I can click on this scroll button to give me more numbers, or I can put in numbers. I expect to not be able to put in a negative number, perhaps. Got an error there. I would expect not to put anything over 32. You can see that I got an error there, so there's some minimal validation going on there. You're going to have some radio buttons that allow me to choose AM or PM. Notice that they are not inclusive, so I can only choose one or the other, so I would be looking for that. I would be looking for radio boxes here that have the classes that you're wanting to ultimately choose for next semester. You should be able to click in these radio boxes more than one choice. So the AM, PM, you only get one or the other, but in this particular grouping, you can have one or many if you want. Then you have this text area, as we call it, that allows you to put in, text box only allows you to put in one line of data, but this particular box allows us to put lines and rows of data. So that's the difference between a text box and a text area, as they're called. I'm looking for some HTML validation, not JavaScript. I'm not expecting you to do that, but some simple validation, and I've showed you how to do that in the videos. In other words, I can't submit this button unless I have filled in the appropriate fields. In this case, I want you to make sure you fill in first name, last name, and email address. So once those are input, I'm looking for, I guess it's that's not my, I can't do YK at otc.edu. There we go. So when the user clicks on submit, I expect this to go to a page that is called thankyou.html, and the information will be displayed in the URL. This is the information that the user submitted. I've shown you in one of the videos how this code is going to automatically put in there for you. It's all done by JavaScript, so you don't have to write that JavaScript. Just implement what I've given you. But I do expect that your page loads thankyou.html, which I've done here. So by clicking, let me just rephrase that or reiterate that. So when I click on submit, I should be taken to, oh, I didn't fill in my information again. otc.edu. So when the user clicks on submit, they are then sent to this thankyou.html page, and because of the JavaScript I've given you, the key value pairs, will show up here in the URL. The associated data will show up here, and this all should look professional. So this looks clean and polished. It maybe could use a little bit of work, but I don't expect your data here to be formatted. This particular format is just fine because that's what the JavaScript is outputting, and that's beyond the scope of the class. So, but the rest of this is still CSS and HTML, so I expect you to give that a little shine and polish as well. So that is what I'm asking you to do, and this is your advising registration form.